Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Connor, here with my father,
Kevin.
And today we have a special guest, James from Yard Act.
Hello, Connor. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you. I was going to say nice to meet you, but we've met on several occasions briefly. The first time was in Vancouver. So welcome back to Vancouver.
It's good to be back.
What I'm really excited about for tonight's show specifically is you guys, well, one, you've got the new record out, which we covered on the channel.
Yep.
You loved it. I love it.
Fantastic.
It's one of my favorite of the year so far. I've seen you live twice, and it was both for, you were touring stuff off the Overload, and the Bristol show, you teased a little bit of stuff off this record, or I think you teased something. There was something new that you played. I don't remember which song it was, but I'm really curious how you've brought this record to life, because I feel like this record is so much different than the debut in the sense of like in a live setting. There's so many different elements. What's the process of bringing this to the live stage? Do you have more people on tour with you? Are you is it just the four of you guys still?
We're a 7-piece now.
7-piece now? Okay, sweet.
Wow.
I think we were a 5-piece in Bristol.
Or maybe 5-piece, yeah.
So Chris has been with us for a while now. He joined towards the back end of the Overload. He plays keys and sax and samplers. And then we've now got Lauren and Daisy, who are doing backing vocals and dance. So it's
sweet.
Multimedia experience, performance. But I think with the record, I think like we definitely made it as like quite a headphone record. There was a lot of detail added in, and it was. We didn't want to design it to be played like that live. We felt like those intricacies. We wanted the essence of the song to be carried into the live show without being bogged down by the specifics of the record. And so the live versions are sort of a lot tougher. It's a bit more raucous, but the detail's still there. We just didn't want to be bound down by the mechanics of the record, and so there's no track. We're not playing to backing track.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we've done it all live and organic, because there would, bless Jay who plays drums has really had his work.
I was going to say on this record specifically.
There were times when we were like, maybe we should just get like a percussion loop on a track and Jay can play to it. And we were like, no, it takes the energy out. So Jay's like Octopus Man. He's just like playing.
No click.
He's playing. He's just playing all the parts in. It's watching him play Dream Job every night. I still get like chills seeing him do that.
There's that one part where he just
his brain's working overtime, and it's a skill. But everyone's like just doing their own thing, and you'll see tonight.
Yeah,
I know.
Does that bring your excitement up a little bit?
No, you know what? I have to say though, you blew my balls off with the Kimmel performance, or the Fallon.
Yeah. One of them.
Yeah, the Fallon one, right? And I got to ask, like, what was the decision? I guess in terms of mixes and stuff to have, and I don't know which female vocalist with the black hair was just right behind you to your left over. Right.
So there was Gustav, our friends Gustav. Do you know the band Gustav?
No. I know the band Gustav.
Yeah. So we've toured with them quite a bit. They're from Brooklyn, so they were brought in to do the backing vocals. So basically, Daisy and Lauren, who were with us tonight and have been on the tour all year, it was touch and go whether their visas were going to arrive for Fallon.
Yeah.
So we had Gustav on speed dial in case we needed them, and then Daisy's visa came through, but Lauren's didn't. So Lauren couldn't make Fallon, but Daisy came out. So we had Daisy, but then we had Gustav as well. So
sweet.
There was like an army of backing vocalists, and it was great. But so Daisy's still with us every night, and
that was a fantastic, absolute. I have sent that to.
I don't know how many people.
How many people I've sent it to?
It was a lot of fun.
It was amazing, and I was just so stoked for you guys. And it was like, another one I was watching was like, I got to ask the question here. I have it somewhere in here, but I know it is like, what was it like playing the Apollo stage, right? Because like the Beatles, the Yardbirds, Tina Turner and Ike, all that. Did you guys like? Do Do you process that before you hit the stage?
The Hammersmith felt like a really big one.
Yeah.
But it was weird because we'd already played it because we opened for Jack White there.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
18 months, 2 years before.
Yeah.
And I definitely never thought I'd return on our terms to it. So I kind of did all my soaking it in
At the time.
as a support act.
Wow.
And then we went back and like it was the best show of the tour. Maybe Bristol was better actually.
Yeah.
And I'm loath to say it because it's always been Manchester or Glasgow. Like it's always been, you know, I mean London's always been great, but it's never sort of rivaled the sort of feral energy of like we played the Barrowlands in Glasgow, which was legendary, and then the Manchester Apollo show, which was earlier in the tour, was amazing, and I didn't think it would top that. But then I don't know, maybe there's something. It was incredible.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Yeah, I don't really look back on what we've done. I don't really stop and reflect. I
don't
feel
know.
like,
You will though at some point in your career.
yeah,
right?
and at that point, I'll probably be able to calculate my feelings.
Yeah.
Or articulate them a little better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a special one. That it was really special, and it was the end of the tour as well. So
My next question's a big one about Glastonbury. Like I have a dream to go to Glastonbury one day, but you guys are playing it. Have you been to Glastonbury as a fan? And who did you go see?
well, no, I've never been as a fan. The first time I went was when we played it, which was 2022. And like growing up, my festival was like Leeds Festival, like Reading and Leeds.
Yeah.
That was the one I went to as a teenager, and I sort of attended festivals throughout my 20s. I had an amazing time at a festival called Roskilde in Denmark.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like, and I kind of, and then we'd played quite a few the year before, and I've played in other bands at various festivals, and I kind of felt like I had them pegged, and everyone always said Glastonbury was like, no, Glastonbury's different.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was kind of like, how different can a festival be? I wasn't like shitting on it, but I was kind of like, I was like, yeah, right. It's just a festival.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to them. They're great fun. I'm sure it'll be wicked. It is like nothing else. Glastonbury, it is different. And there's an energy, and the size of it. It's so overwhelmingly massive. Like, you know, it takes like 4 or 5 hours to walk across the site. Like, and there's like bits you can't discover. Like, there was times like throughout the weekend where I was like, where am I? Like, you know, it wasn't like you could just, and you can't like plan to go. Like, if you go, all right, well, you know, Arts and Monkeys are on at 9 p.m. on the Pyramids, so we'll go and see Little Sims at 7 p.m. on the Woodsy stage or whatever. Like, you can't do that because they're not. It's not like you can just chip over. It's like you might be an hour and a half away from what you want to see
That
next.
far?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, see, that just blew my mind because I thought it was
Yeah.
just a big thing, and the stages were like, you know, the smaller stages were off, and you could just literally see the main stage and then go off and walk for 10 minutes.
I mean, some of it's a bit. I mean, some things you could coordinate, but it's not all. No, it's spread out, and it's. I think not having an itinerary for Glastonbury's better. You kind of just float into what you see. Like, don't, you know, if there's something you really want to see, make sure you're there for that. But otherwise, kind of let the
Are you guys excited for that?
energy take it. Yeah, I'm buzzing. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I loved it last time.
Yeah.
You know, it was a wild weekend. But yeah, this time's going to be really special.
With the new album.
New album.
7
it's on,
people.
yeah, it's on telly this time. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's Jay's birthday the day before.
Oh, is it?
So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, we've had to sit Jay down and have a talk with him about how much he's allowed to party.
Yeah.
before he goes on telly.
No, there's always a limit. You got to stay within it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I would always, when I was playing, and I was like playing bars or whatever, but I would like small little bars, you know, 50 people or something like that, maybe, right? I would get so nervous. I would just be taking shots. I go smoke cigarettes outside.
Yeah.
And then I just have to pound the booze. And then I get up there and I get through the first song. I give 10 minutes into the first song and I'm starting playing the chords. It's starting to feel good. You get that adrenaline rush. And then I'm like, fuck, I didn't have to do all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I didn't have to pound all that booze to get up here. You get up here, get through the first 10 minutes, and then you feel
Yeah.
you feel great and it takes over. You realize
Yeah.
that confidence factor, right? So it's everybody's different, right?
Well, I'd never performed sober until 18 months ago when I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Because from being a teenager, like when I started playing my first gigs, I was playing in pubs and
Yeah.
it's around you, and it was just normal to have a few pints, and then you feel like this, you can't perform without it. I never knew. And then when I quit drinking, which was like the end of January last year, is that right? 23? Yeah, it's been like 18 months or something.
Yeah.
We had a gig in Rotterdam, and it was the first one I was doing sober. I'd not drank for 3 months, but we'd not had any shows. So it was the first time I had to play sober.
Yeah.
And I still didn't, like, my mentality was like, I can't perform in this headspace. So I thought it'd be a wise idea to get really stoned. And that was, like some people perform on weed and that's their thing and they're amazing. Yeah. I definitely was moving to an
weed
energy that the rest of the room wasn't. And so after that, I was like, right, that's it. That didn't work. I've got to be straight.
Sober.
And after a few shows, I can't imagine performing on booze anymore because I gained a sense of control that I never knew existed. Yeah.
That's really similar to the conversation we had with
Danny Brown.
We had Danny Brown over not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I saw this Scaring the Homes record.
Yeah, Danny was here. Danny was here, and
he's been sober for over a year. Well, we had him actually. He was on the show. Was it his 1 year anniversary?
1 year anniversary.
Sobriety?
Yeah. And you know what?
Good work, Danny.
We went and we were smiling so much when he came out at the Commodore. He came out fresh. He looked I didn't see Danny before, right when he was going through his rough shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I saw him come out and he's like, he looked healthy. He was drinking water and he was just fucking killing it. The stage was it was magic, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was so good.
Everyone was having a great time. He looked like he was having a great time.
Yeah.
And then right at the end of the show, he's like, "All right, guys, I got to go back and work on my album in the hotel room." And then he just left, and then that was it. He didn't. He wasn't.
Killer.
But to see him,
it was such a cool thing.
Then I went back and looked at videos of Danny 3 years prior when he was on some shows, and I'm like, "Holy shit, he did not look healthy." He was really messed up, and it was just like
that guy's been through a lot of shit.
Yeah,
he's been through some stuff. But to see him, and I had been following him for years. So for me, it was kind of like a really, I don't know, I don't want to say proud because I had no part in this. But I
felt this.
It's me seeing him in person, being a fan of him. I was just really happy to see him in such a good place.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it was magic, man. That's one of my favorites. I think I picked it. Did I pick it as number one for last year? Quaranta?
Yeah, I think that was your favorite.
It was. It was. That's. He opened up so much about just getting older, right, and just getting clean and all that kind of stuff. And I could relate to that so much. And it was just like, I was like sitting here with him. Was like, oh man.
You've listened to Quaranta?
Yeah, not as much as Scaring the Hose. I'm a Danny Brown fan.
Okay,
but Quaranta, I've not tapped into that as much. The JPEG Mafia one, that was my favorite album of last year.
Oh, was it?
And my brain doesn't have the capacity to consume that much. When I kind of look at the albums that I really get into, there's only sort of 5 or 6 a year, and the rest is kind of I make a note that I like it, but I don't consume it in the same way.
Yeah.
So
I guess I can ask you another question here, just while we're, when you write, James.
Yeah.
When you write, James, do you write lyrics first, or do you have an instrument of choice, or do you even write?
Do you come up with a concept?
Do you come up with a concept?
Especially on the new record, it's very conceptual.
It depends. Sometimes if I try and write all the words in advance, I might overlook kind of good instrumentals that Ryan's brought, or maybe if I start writing something and then trying to apply the words to that and they don't fit, I'll dismiss the whole thing.
Yeah,
I've kind of learned that my new sort of way of writing that started in the second album a bit more and is going to carry on into the third is kind of writing handfuls of sort of lines and then pulling out, when I've written a track, pulling out something until something sticks and then using that as a jump off point and then crafting the rest around it.
Oh yeah.
Because like, I mean, with the first EP and the first album, especially because it was so spoken word, I could kind of bulldoze over the music and just write these like full sort of short stories almost. But like now I'm kind of moving away from that a little bit more and sort of trying to sort of weave more melody into the narrative and leave more space, because the band's like when we started, we weren't really a band. It was kind of me and Ryan knocking demos out, and it kind of got out of hand and then took off.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know what we were doing, and it was quite, it was sure of itself in a lot of senses. Well, I think it presented as being quite sure of itself because we knew how to sort of front like that a bit. But I think musically, we definitely didn't know what we wanted or where we were going, and it wasn't the best representation of everything we were listening to and kind of wanted to achieve. And then after touring so much, obviously the band's so sort of solid together now that bringing that in, it's like I can definitely afford to step away a lot more. It's like, and I want to let them shine. I want to glue in with them a lot more than I did, rather than bulldoze over the top of everyone else.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been working on. But that's also meant that I've kind of been writing musically a lot more. The second album I kind of wrote quite a lot on a 404 sampler. The kind of style that we were doing was I'd sort of rip a record, build a beat out of a record, and then the band would play to it, and then we'd remove the sample.
Yeah.
That was how Illusion.
SP404?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that the same as?
Yeah.
JPEGs, yeah.
I don't know what model he was using. He said that he's retired from it.
Yeah.
He says he's completed the
He's
404.
Yeah, he's done with the 404, but
I'm not calling him into question. But if he made that record on 404 with nothing else,
That's insane.
he has completed it.
yeah, that's he's killed the machine.
Maybe,
It's done.
did he have a little bit of help from Ableton or something? I don't know. Yeah,
I find it so hard to believe. Yeah,
it's incredible on that.
It's amazing to see it without a screen. So
yeah, but the feel of them is really fun.
yeah,
and there's something I found I got a lot out of mangling chords and notes up onto buttons, so I wasn't thinking melodically and chromatically like looking at a piano or a guitar or something instantly. I'd unlocked a thought process and a sort of pattern that I was. I'll turn my phone on again. I'd unlocked this kind of like pattern.
Yeah.
Because I find like very occasionally I still pick up a guitar and write on a guitar, but I find you have to kind of undo your learning. Like my hands go to the same shapes that they know sound good.
Straight away. That is so.
Yeah.
Sounds like
You hit it. You hit it on the head right now.
Yeah.
If I pick up that guitar right now, and I've been trying to write. Well, I've been writing songs for years.
What chord are you gonna hit?
I'm gonna hit a C. I'm gonna hit a G. I'm gonna hit an A minor. I'm gonna hit a F, and I'm gonna stay within there. Right. I've always said to Connor is that, and I don't know how you feel in terms of when you write, but I feel like I always go to a cup of a latte, right? And so I get a large latte, and there's a whole bunch of foam at the top.
For your reference.
My reference, yeah. So the top, I always write at the top of that, right?
The top of the foam.
The top of the foam.
Yeah.
But the hurt is down at the bottom.
Yeah.
The shit that I've gone through. So I never ever go down there. Do you find in your writing that with you that you do you go to those deep places? Or do you stay?
I mean, I'm starting to get there.
Yeah.
And it's painful. And I think especially with the second album, I got there. I was kind of raised in quite a sarcastic, self-deprecating household, and that's my general demeanour has always been to sort of downplay emotions and turn them into a joke.
Yeah,
because it's the ultimate self-defense.
It's
a safety mechanism that I've
lived my whole life.
Sounds like you. It sounds like you
exactly.
passed on to me.
And it's and it's healthy in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways it also isn't. But you're never going to find the healthiest way to live, I suppose.
No,
but I find that sometimes when I listen back to stuff, I'll be saying stuff on stage every night without thinking about it, and then like repeating the lyrics, and then I'll find that like if I like we did a record store signing in Portland, and they play the album over the PA, and obviously I never listened to it. So when you hear it played back to you and you're kind of actively listening rather than sort of performing in a moment, there's lyrics on that record now where I'm like, oh my God, that's a cry for help.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like the chorus of like When the Laughter Stops. It's like that's. I was in a bad way, and I couldn't really process those emotions, and I just kept saying I've got to get through the next tour before I can deal with this.
Yeah,
and I still do that a bit now. Like I'm, not drinking has helped. But yeah, like I find if you want to get to those deep places, I think if you're writing in a way, it'll be brought up. But I think you know, it's not. I think some people write to the point that it works for them. I don't think I'm capable of that. I think my.
I don't think I am either. So
yeah,
I think I'm writing the fluff right now, and I'm not going to that place. And I think that if I ever do get to that place, that'll be the song. I said to Connor, I just want to go to the Warehouse, which is Bryan Adams' studio in town, right?
Right, cool.
It's a killer studio.
Yeah.
I want to go there and write I've got lots. I've got 40, 50 songs, right? I want to write
Probably
the
more
one.
than that,
yeah, more than that. But I want to write the song that is the one that is really down in that nasty area.
And do you know what you want to say? You just don't want to go there.
I just don't want to go there. Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but part of me, as I get older, I'm like, I got to get this shit out. It's got to come out of me at some point.
Do you feel it'd be cathartic to go there and get it out?
I think so.
Through song?
Yes. Yeah.
When the Laughter Stops specifically, did it help bringing in was it Pearson? What's
Katie J.
Katie J.
Pearson. Yeah.
Did that help getting did she help with the writing process for that?
She contributed some harmonies. But no, the hook and the lyrics was because the demo was me, and like my voice just couldn't hold. It was like begging for a better singer.
I see.
And we've known Katie for as long as we've been a band, and we've been sort of like we're friends, but when we cross paths at festivals, we collaborate together and stuff. So she's amazing. She's just put a new single out. Her new album is not out yet, but that's something I've been listening to.
Oh wow, check it out.
She's great, yeah. And yeah, she just lifted it to that next level.
I see.
But yeah, she kind of felt like the voice in my head. That's the character she came to embody on that. It's like they're my words, but it's like she's saying them to me. It's like the voice on my shoulder.
Well, I was gonna say that must have made it even weirder when you hear it, like at the record shop signing, because it's your words sung by somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to do more of that. I mean, eventually, I'd love to fade into obscurity and write hits for more talented
Max Martin
performers and singers. I'd love to. I'd love to be Max Martin.
Yeah, Max Martin. Yeah. One interview in this whole.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine being. I feel like a lot of songwriters kind of they try and break out into their own thing after a while because they kind of get. Maybe I don't know. Maybe my ego wouldn't allow it, but I'd like to think that I'd be satisfied going. I know I wrote that hit that everyone in here is listening to, and no one knows.
And you're like,
I think that'd be the ultimate kick for me. But I'd probably be like, I wrote this, or like, why don't they know who I am? I don't know. Maybe I would.
Well, I have to tell you a quick story about Jim Valance, who's Bryan Adams' songwriter, and he's written with everybody for Celine Dion, Aerosmith, and all that kind of stuff, right? And so he lives close to the Vancouver airport, right? And I said to Connor, I said, one of the best fucking gigs ever. Like, Jim's got his studio, right?
Yeah.
And all the stars come off the airport. They go up Granville Street. I'm not going to say where, but anyways, they go to his studio.
Right.
All the superstars would go there, and then they'd go to his place, and they'd write songs,
have a cup of tea,
sit there and then write and work in his studio, and then split, and then go, and then he would be at like 26th row at the Grammy Awards. And he, oh yeah, I got another one.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
Yeah. And just like, I
That's
wrote
the
it.
way, man.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd love that. I
Yeah.
think that's what I want
Yeah.
in the long term. Yeah, producer, songwriter.
It's a good feeling, I think.
But with the guys as well, you know, like we've kind of been doing some production together for some artists in the UK. I just get a kick out of writing, and I really enjoy working with other people. You know, sometimes it's nice to not have to put yourself into it. You know, like we're saying, like you don't want to go to that place. Sometimes it's like you want to create and you want to be a part of something without being the pit of it.
You know, you're
yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been playing for so long, and I go in, I'm the idea guy, and the lyric guy, and then I'm like, okay, let's start the shit going. So we're sitting in the studio and we're jamming away and stuff. But it's nice when someone else is like comes up with goes, hey man, this should go in this direction, or maybe we should talk about this or whatever. It takes a little bit off of you. It does. It takes, you know, because it's hard. Sometimes it's hard bearing I don't know if that's your role, but it's sometimes hard bearing being the main, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The main contributor. Yeah, I mean,
right? I can't keep mining my own despair and misery every 2 years.
To keep it going.
It's going to become like, I'm going to become a parody of myself. It's like, I'm not always going to have something to write about. And I'm not always going to want to delve that deep into the pain.
Yeah.
That's not always sometimes it is, but like, if you can't like, suffer on demand, you know.
No, I know.
And you know, and great music comes from positive places as well.
Yeah.
So whatever but a lot of the time you might just be in the middle. You might just be quite happy. You might have nothing to say.
Yeah.
You might not be feeling anything particularly strong, and you don't want to challenge them. Well, maybe you do want to challenge the mundane in songwriting.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest middle-of-the-road songs ever, they serve their purpose. Not everything is the most heartfelt, exciting, groundbreaking piece of music you've ever heard. Everything has its place, you know.
Yeah.
But,
I love what you just said about serving the purpose, because, like, there's a lot of times that we'll do an album or listen to an album, and it's just like, it's not groundbreaking. It's not. You know what? It serves the purpose for that moment.
Absolutely.
It's I used to call it middle of the road music, MRR or whatever. It was just like it was just there, and it just it just felt good. It wasn't like you were gonna it wasn't gonna make you super sad. It wasn't gonna be super high to dance. It was there, and it was good.
Yeah.
You know,
there's nothing wrong with.
There's
that,
nothing wrong
know?
with
so
that.
I think
Yeah.
some people tend to
not at all,
throw
right?
like a negative thing towards that, like they make middle of the road music.
Yeah, there was a big thing about that, like MRR, like just like Bryan Adams gets shit on all the time. Actually, I was watching
you brought Bryan Adams up a lot today. You really
I know.
Bryan, is he from Vancouver?
He's from Vancouver. Yeah. He plays huge shows over in the UK. Still at 60, like he's packing his tour is crazy right now, right?
I mean, are you aware of Baby When You're Gone?
Yeah.
Because like Doug, who's our TM, is American, and he'd never heard that song before.
Really?
I don't know if maybe it was a hit in Canada, but not in the States. Obviously, it's got Mel C from the Spice Girls on it.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the greatest songs of all
that
time.
Is,
you know?
she kills it on there.
Yeah.
That's. I'm a huge BA fan, man. I grew up on BA, but then it was like, I think there was a point where, and I'll tell you, like there was like, I was getting shit on because he was like middle of the road, like Summer '69, and just being and writing Heaven and these great.
Nah, man, middle of the road's cool.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like,
like
you sit there and I go to Brian's show. I went a few years ago. He's at his age. He's a completely clean, non-drinking vegan who just fucking kills it.
Yeah.
Vocally, writing, like he's got the whole package going. He looks really, really good.
Nice.
There's nothing wrong with, looking up to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there really isn't. Like it's, his songs are fantastic. So.
Yeah.
No, speaking quickly about Canadian artists, we've asked this with multiple UK artists that we
Last Dinner Party.
Across. Yeah, we talked to the Last Dinner Party about this
cool.
when they were here. Is there any Canadian artists that kind of bleed into the UK that you find influence from?
I love Neil Young. He's my favorite artist of all time.
Oh, he's up here. Look at that. Oh, he's just behind you, the poster. The other one.
Oh yeah. Oh, there he is.
We got
Alan Harvest just there as well.
Connor's one of the. He's.
I knew Neil Young was on your. I've known that you like Neil Young.
Yeah.
That's one that I had already known about. He's one of my favorites. You want to announce the game that we've established?
Yeah, it's not
this
really.
is the name.
It's not a game. It
started with Danny Brown.
Yes, and it's called
You
grab
came-
by bag, but you don't have to grab a bag or anything.
Well, you
Okay.
do have to grab a bag.
I have to grab a bag.
Yeah, where's the
Right,
bag today?
and I'll grab it right now.
So you're gonna go grab the bag.
I'm gonna go grab the bag.
This
I don't know
is
if that means anything
this
in
is
the UK.
yeah.
Like stroke
this
the
is
willy.
exciting.
I'm not sure.
Stroke the willy.
I don't know. That's no idea.
Stroke the willy and grab the bag. Oh right, okay. Wow.
Oh,
Oh.
jeez.
Am I meant to open this?
Yes, it's for you. Yeah. So
Ah.
Connor made a special trip today for you.
I looked at a lot of places to find this, and this is the only size that they had because it is
What?
it is from the 90s.
No way.
It is.
And we talked about Neil Young.
We hope it fits. It's,
The Ragged Glory one. Oh man, I'm not even messing. This is beautiful. Yeah, that'll definitely fit me. That's
It
amazing.
might be
I
a little
used to have
tight,
this
but-
in cream.
Oh,
Did you?
really?
Yeah, but I can't have cream t-shirts because I like eating saucy foods.
Oh, so there you go.
This is perfect. This is yes.
oh, it fits. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that definitely fits.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
He was scooting around
Ah,
everywhere.
man,
Like, where can
thank
we
you
find
so
this? Where can we
much.
find
Yeah, I
this?
was going to all vintage stores to try to find something.
Dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, yeah, we can probably wrap this up here.
Yeah.
James, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank
you.
This is wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Is there anything you want to say to everybody watching? Anything you want to plug? Like the tour is it? You still got more shows? Oh, you got the new album out.
Yeah, that's still available to buy. There's loads of copies of it.
It's a
Not sold.
really. Are all the? I have a question actually. Are all the records the type of build your own, or is there any ones that you can buy that are like with the
Stagnant like that.
There's that one. Well, yeah, that you built your own.
Yeah, Connor.
It
he
came
did
with a
pretty
bunch
much
of-
the same, right?
Uninspiring. You've done it exactly as it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Well, no, because I went and bought it, right? And I thought I thought I fucked up and ordered because I pre-ordered it to,
Yeah.
to my.
You look at the inside.
See, I've not seen this.
No?
I have seen this now, but I don't own a copy of this. Look, that's like.
I know.
I thought you. Can I stick me on it?
You go, yes,
go-
please.
go crazy.
Oh my God, that'd be fantastic.
Whatever you want to do,
Let's see. We want just me.
anywhere you want, go for it.
Answer that.
This is, you know what? I went and I looked at your page of.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, that's awesome. I looked at the Instagram page of the artist who created this. I love the artwork.
Oh, Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lives just down the road from me. He's a
Really?
good- He used to play bass in my old band.
Yeah,
We're good friends.
Grab tickets to any shows that still have them available if they aren't sold out. And yeah, once again,
Thank you so much.
James.
Yeah, I really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Connor.
Thank
It's
you.
been an honor.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Cheers.